Hello, today I am in Oxford in a classroom, as you can see. This is all our stuff left from yesterday. You can see, working on notes. The reason I'm here is to do a principles and preparations for coaching sport. Basically what this is I am learning how to be a coach to teach karate to disabled people. As you know, I'm not actually currently training right now due to my CFS, and so I'm looking for other ways to progress, which doesn't necessarily involve being in a dojo, and this seemed like a good way. It links in with the work I do working in care, links with my passion for karate, so it's basically what I do anyway. And so I thought, well, I might as well get a certificate to actually say I can do what I'm already doing, so it kind of makes sense. It's day 2, day 1 was yesterday. No one else is here yet. There's a couple of people out in the staff room area. The rest of the people haven't arrived, so really early. So we're going to get on with it, and hopefully it'll be a good day. A lot of writing down. It's quite a thick folder, a lot of things to go through.
The next day.
Hello, welcome to Karate Diary. I have no idea which number. Now, if you've been following my videos, you'll know that I haven't been training for a while because of my health, but I still want to do what I can to be involved with karate, so I've gone along to do a qualification in teaching karate to disabled people. Now, there's not really a UK-wide recognised qualification for karate because all the different karate associations can't really agree on who wants to be in charge, so you might get a qualification in one association or style of karate but isn't necessarily recognised in another one. So what I've gone along and done is signed up to a course with these people, which is actually a general sporting coach qualification. Obviously, you know, if you watch my videos, you know I'm not really into sport, but this course has been purposely tailored and designed to teaching karate to people with disabilities. So it's a lot of written work. I've done some of it in the classroom already, as you can see. So basically it's a lot of this and theory about teaching as well as the practical side of it. And what that means is when I get qualified that I'd be able to actually go to a venue like a school or something, say, look, I've got this qualification, I can actually teach, because up until now a lot of places are like, you know, a bit iffy about doing it actually within their own establishment, if that makes sense. So it was quite interesting, learned quite a lot. It was mainly obviously different teaching styles, coaching styles and stuff like that, and doing it all inclusive, and it was interesting to learn other people's philosophies and stuff on karate, because whenever I've worked with other people in other karate styles before, you never really get to know them as a person. They never really talk about what they do. You just sort of see them, they do their thing, and, you know, make a bit of a judgment. And I've made a few of those videos. And actually see people and actually talk to them, because you're all sitting in a classroom environment. We were actually in a school, sitting around tables, chatting and discussing things. It was actually quite interesting, and like there's one girl there, I've forgotten everyone's names, really have. I'm hopeless with names, but there's one girl there, and it sounds like the school that she was in, the karate club she was in, is absolutely terrible. Everything her sensei was doing just sounded wrong. There's someone else saying that she used to be in a style where she almost sounded a bit cultish, and saying you do this and you cannot go to anywhere else, you know, and it's like, well, that's really weird. I was thinking, because when I was training full time, they actually welcomed me and encouraged me to train other places, and then I could bring back what I learnt to the class and show them things. You know, they're interested to learn about it. Several differences of opinion here and there, and I've been thinking about some of the stuff that we said, because we had a bit of discussion, because I said that I when I was training full time, I would generally teach the beginners, and he was saying, well, that's not like inclusive. I went with Sensei Ray, who you saw in my disability karate video a little while ago, and he said, well, it's not inclusive. And I was saying, well, it is inclusive, because, you know, they are in the class, but he was saying, but they're a bit separate. But we had a bit of a disagreement on that. I can see his point and his understanding, but then we went off to one of his classes, and he divided the class up anyway. And I was thinking, well, how is that different to what I was saying? Because you've divided the class into, although everyone's doing the same thing, kind of, you've divided it into their abilities And how is that different to me taking a beginner off to one side and dividing it into their abilities? Thinking maybe he just misunderstood what I was saying, because I don't know. But also I find beginners get intimidated being with a large class. So that's kind of what I was trying to say. I don't know if I got my point across properly, but they do sometimes get intimidated being with a large group of people. Having one-to-one to get the basics, like this is an age okay and this is a chudan okay and stuff like that. And once they've got that, then they're in the main class, but they are included. So I don't know, maybe, but we just sort of discussed that over lunch, over a sandwich. I don't think we properly got each other's points across. I understand what he's saying, but I think he maybe thought I meant they were excluded from the main group, but they're not. They are. Anyway, I haven't been with my old club for about a year now. It is a year since I stopped training. I didn't plan on having a break this long, I really didn't. I thought I'd be back long before now, but now I might be moving away soon, so probably would have been leaving about now anyway, so but that's a whole different video. So yeah, it was really interesting. A couple of things he said is like never ever use things like push-ups or exercise as punishment, and he emphasised that quite a bit, like do not use like things like push-ups as punishment, and especially in the children's class, I've seen that a lot really. And you know, if you like somebody messes up, it's like do the push-ups, and it's almost like a game really, but I can understand his point, because then in their mind they're seeing exercise as a punishment, and exercise should be seen as something fun and a reward. So he's thinking not just in the immediacy of the class, but in the long-term effects, and I can understand that. And they're talking about different ways of disciplining people and sorting things out if something goes wrong, and a lot of other stuff. What else did we do? So I've got to develop a 20-minute class as part of my homework. I'm going back in a month. So basically how it works, I think I understand it correctly. On this page, here, I haven't filled it out yet, there's 4 sessions, and I've got to write down a progressive class. So there's something I'm working on and aiming towards. So got session 1, 2, 3 and 4, and over the 4 sessions we're working towards that a particular goal. It could be something simple like a punch or a kick, or something a bit more complex, not like a full kata or anything, because obviously the demonstration I'm going to do is like 20 minutes. I believe I've got to pick one of these sessions, and which is like going to be 20-minute long, and do that with a class. And we've been told it has to be exactly 20 minutes. He says it cannot be 19 minutes and 50 seconds, and it cannot be 20 minutes and 10 seconds. It has to be exactly 20 minutes. It's like, okay, that's quite an ask really, when you don't know who you're going to be teaching. All I know is that one of the people is going to be in a wheelchair, but there could be deaf people there could be blind people there could be people with other disabilities, I don't know, or they could all be quite able and they might just have some learning disabilities. I don't know. I literally do not know who's going to be there. I imagine the other students, the coaches on the course, are going to be there. There were 7 of us in total. But the class has got to cover all of this. I don't know if you can see that on the camera. There's quite a bit there. So there's preparation. You've got to identify resources, like do I need anything, am I going to use anything. I've got some bean bags somewhere, which I used to use in like the kids class of balancing. You put them on the head, and if they move up and down, keep them balanced. Got to identify risks and stuff, hazards, it's simple things. It's like when I used to train in my old dojo, the class before us would always leave a table like in the middle of the hall. Well, not like in the middle of the hall, but it's kind of here, but I have to push that to the side. Things like that. Make sure people feel welcome, ease. A lot of this is common sense stuff you do anyway. Deliver at appropriate pace. Different coaching methods. We talked about different coaching methods. Conclude the session, warm up, cool down obviously, and all that. The different coaching styles he talks about. A lot of this is what we already knew. It was over a 2-day course. Day 1 is pretty much everything I knew already. I didn't really learn anything on day 1. Day 2, I felt like I was learning stuff, but then when I look back on it, I was kind of like, well, I kind of did know that already. It's kind of common sense. But there are 3 main coaching methods, or which I would use and we all would use anyway. One's autocratic. Basically, you stand at the front, you say, we are going to do this, and you do it, basically. A lot of classes run that way. When it's like, when is this a good time to use this and when's a bad time and such things. Then other things like democracy, it's like, what would you like to do? And you discuss it, and then you do that. And again, when's this a good time? When's this a bad time? Again, this is other methods that I've used and I've seen. And then laissez-faire, which is just free. So people just basically do what they want, really. You just, and again, we'll do that quite a lot. A lot of my old videos, which aren't actually on my channel, they're on a Facebook page. There's quite a lot of videos on that, which is basically just free, and I would just film people in free training. If there's like only 3 or so people of us and we've got a great big hall, then we'd do that. There's quite a few videos on the page. Yeah, so there's all different things, and so there's quite a lot in here. There's a disc here. I believe this disc is actually the same stuff because they were using slides projected onto a whiteboard. I think what's on the disc is on the same as on the slide. I haven't actually had a look. Got things like the coaching the coaching process here. Plan, do, review. Again, this is all common sense stuff. You plan your class, you do your class, and then you see what works, what didn't work, and then you plan a new class. Years ago, I was always teaching like in the kids class. I think I went every single week along to the kids class, and I would plan ahead because there were things that I was planning towards. It's like maybe getting to know a certain kata and the bunkai towards the kata, and I'd plan it ahead. But then, of course, completely different kids would turn up each time, and it's like, really? I did all that planning. And it says always have a plan B. There's only so many plan Bs you can have, I think. And he was saying, oh, you know, you should always have a plan B, but there's always stuff you can do. Say you have a plan for all like brown belt stuff and then a bunch of white belts turn up. You can adapt it. Maybe you wanted to do brown belt kata, so you adapt it to a white belt kata. It's not completely different. You still just have to alter it a little bit. But if you're like working towards like randori or sparring that we would do like really senior, and then a bunch of like new people turn up, you wouldn't do that with the brand new people, but I suppose you could work on movement and stuff like that. It's basically just giving you a whole different way of thinking about teaching. I suppose after a while it becomes second nature. I said most of it is what I'd do anyway. There's a little bit of sports science stuff, like we've got to research on the heart and stuff. I already know about the heart anyway. So we've got like different types of anatomy, physiology, different muscle groups and stuff like that. So it's the whole sports science qualification thing. So there's quite a lot in there. There's some other bits and bobs as well. There's got a couple of other booklets downstairs which I haven't brought out. So yeah, it was a really interesting time. I went along with Sensei Les, who you have seen in a couple of my previous videos, and everyone else that I didn't know, apart from Ray, who I'd met previously, who you've also seen in the previous one of my videos, but everyone else there I didn't know. But it was a good time, because you might be wondering, why am I going to all the effort to earn this qualification when I'm not actually training? Because I don't plan on being ill forever. I don't plan on having this CFS for the rest of my life. I do plan on going back to karate of some kind. I've always planned. I never wanted to leave permanently. I mean, this is the next best thing, sitting in a classroom. We did do one session in the dojo of one of his classes I mentioned earlier, although I was just so tired. I think it's because really early morning, to wake up early to get there, and then after that, I didn't have a really very long break when I think there wasn't really any time for me to rest, and then it was straight into it. I was just like, I'm too knackered, and I thought, oh, if I've got class afterwards, got to think. But then the caretaker locked up the store with all our stuff inside, so it was like, that's brilliant. Luckily I had my camera with me, but Sensei Ray, his phone and laptop was still in there. His laptop was left on all night, and came in the following morning, a different caretaker opened up, and we went in there, and his laptop's still there with the screen on. It'd been like that all night, so that was good. So if when I move, I don't think there's anywhere that does Goju-Ryu where I'm going to, and obviously what I do isn't 100% Goju-Ryu, but I would want, if I were to set up my own place, I would want it to be along the lines of what I know. And I would actually also think I'd probably renew my membership with my old association in January, even though I'm not going to be living anywhere around here. We'll see, because I still want to be associated with them even if I'm not with them. It's kind of weird. It's like I want to be a member of an organisation that I'm not training with anymore. Sounds a bit weird, but I still want that connection, if that makes sense. And I want to learn their ways because I like the way that they do karate, and that's the way I want to teach, utilising the methods that I'm learning on this course, because I think that they could complement each other really well. I would have to maybe change a couple of my teaching styles a little bit to accommodate this qualification, but I don't think it should be a problem. But I want to, because everyone there was from different karate styles. They had, obviously I'm mainly Goju-ryu, there was some Shotokan, Wado-ryu, and a whole bunch of different things. And the syllabus that would be given covers like the basic stuff that all styles do in their style. I mean, all different karate styles, although they're different, there is a crossover on different things. Obviously, I couldn't teach katas that I don't know, but there are katas that I do know. For example, I know that they teach high-end Shodan, and I know high-end Shodan, so that's cool. There's obviously that's not Goju, but I know Geki Sadi-H, Geki Sadi-Ni, and I know them like the classic traditional ways. I would do that. Obviously, still don't have my black belt. That's one reason I would want to rejoin my old association, is because I really want the black belt. And obviously, with the increased intense training that I was having, completely wiped me out, and I never recovered from it. That was a year ago, and this is what CFS is like. I mean, if you want to know really what it's like, I've got a whole playlist on my channel, so if you go to the playlist section on my channel page, you should see one of the playlists says CFS. Just watch all them and you'll know what it's like. But yeah, I haven't recovered, so it's kind of like, I'm hoping, because where I'm going to, the air should be cleaner, because right here the air's dirty. I'm not happy living here anymore. So get away, fresh start. I'm hoping to find a job there. Obviously, if I work with these people, they'll pay me to do what I want. And because I've also done a video about working in care. I got into care because I wanted to make a difference to people's lives. And to be honest, I don't feel as if I am making a difference to people's lives, and I feel like 90% of carers don't. They just sort of keep them at a steady, happy place they're not getting worse, but they're not getting better either. And I know there are some carers that make a real difference to people's lives, and I know there's some carers who quite frankly shouldn't be in the job. And there are other carers who just basically, they're happy for things just to coast along exactly the same every time. And that isn't why I got into the industry, but at the moment, obviously I've only got like a crappy job at the moment because I'm working for an agency because my last company collapsed. I don't feel as if I'm actually making a positive impact on anybody, and I haven't felt that way for a while. Although my last job, there was someone I put an awful lot of time and effort into. It was very stressful, and I had some sleepless nights. But I do feel that in the end I made a real positive impact. At least I hope I did. Although everything kind of went tits up in the end when the company folded and the takeover, and then the new company were completely useless. So I left them, which is now why I'm working for an agency. And I was just like thinking, I hope all that hard work wasn't for nothing. So I want to be able to do hard work, make a positive impact. And with these people doing this course, I feel like I can actually do what I've always wanted to do. I can make a positive impact on people's lives and do what I enjoy, which is karate. And it just seems to combine everything that I want to do and I've always wanted to do. And I'm good at it. I'm good at teaching, all right? So some of the methods are a little bit different, but generally I'm good at teaching because people tell me I'm good. And when I have students coming up to me saying they like the way I teach and they keep coming back because they like what I do, and I try to be positive Though I'm honest, they kept saying praise, 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 you know, I was also honest as well. If someone was doing a bad technique, I wasn't going to sugarcoat it. If I knew people could do better, I'd be like, I know they can do better, and I would say, I've seen you do better than that. I know you can do better. You know, I would be honest about it. If someone's just being lazy and not trying, I would say you're being lazy and not trying. And a lot of people liked that honesty because, you know, they kept coming back and they said they liked the way I teach. But I would praise where praise was due. I wasn't going to praise for something that didn't deserve it. But if they were trying, if they genuinely tried to make their technique good, even like, you know, you could have someone whose punch is, you know, really sloppy like this, and then someone else's punch is like that, but you know that that's the best they can do, then obviously you praise that. And then you encourage them to do a better one. Yeah, so I've got to work out this lesson plan. It's going to be difficult to rehearse it without actually being part of a dojo, though Sensei Les said I could like pop along to his one and try out the lesson plan. I just feel like it would be weird going back to my old club, even though I said I want to rejoin, you know, actually become a member. I don't know, because I haven't really spoken to them for a long time, and if I was to say, oh, you know, I've gone along to this other association and I want to come along and try out a lesson plan on everyone even though I'm not a member anymore, I don't know, it feels weird. So we'll see, I'll figure something out. Maybe I will contact and just say, look, I'm doing this qualification, I need to rehearse this thing, it's only 20 minutes long, which should be only 20 minutes long. I don't see why they'd say no, but it shouldn't be awkward. I've known these people for most of my life. You know, I consider them my friends. So it shouldn't be weird to say, look, you never know, one of them might even watch this video and contact me. Hey, if you're from my old dojo and see this, contact me and say it's not weird. Come along, try out your 20-minute class. That would be great. I'm going to go now. I've got a lot of things to do. I'm packing boxes. My room is a complete disaster area at the moment, but you can't see that on the camera. This is a good thing about being able to point the camera in a certain direction. You can't see the crap that's surrounding me. Loads of boxes. Beyond this door here, just here, I've got loads and loads of boxes. I'm putting everything into that. Thing is, the contracts haven't been signed yet. Might still be here. You never know. I might be here in 5 years, but hopefully not, because that means I'd have to unpack all the boxes. Anyway, right, I've really got to go. I'm going to be doing some independent film reviews soon. I haven't done any of those for a while. I've found a bunch of films. I don't know if they're any good or not. I will watch them and let you know. Don't forget, I've got the Firewalk Challenge coming up at the end of this month. I still need sponsorship. I need to reach £80, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it would be cool if you could sponsor that. That goes for disabled children, place in Guildford. So I should be filming that, so check that out, subscribe, hit the bell button so you know when that comes out. Also subscribe and hit the bell button so that you know when I do part 2 of this video diary, and I can tell you how my final assessment went and whether I passed the course or not, which I should do. I hope I do. I don't see any reason why I won't. Because I'm motivated to do it, I want to do it, and it's stuff that I know and it's stuff that I can do. So anyway, cheers, give a thumbs up if you like this video, and I will catch you later. Bye!